Hey guys, Nicole from Greg Coco Lives. Happy Thanksgiving week coming up. I'm doing some recipes on my Facebook page for Thanksgiving. I'm doing some laundry, don't mind me. But I'm going to show you the bread that I'm going to make to use for my stuffing. It's lupin bread. I've made it a million times. It's delicious. I like it a lot. I like it probably more than almond flour bread. So lupin is a bean. It's an alternative to a soybean, but it's only 1 net carb for 1/4 cup, and it's very bready like when you use it in baked goods. So I get mine off of Amazon. Kind of pricey versus, well, almond flour is more pricey than all-purpose anyway. So I think I paid for the bag that I have $9. The one I used to get was 11 something, but I couldn't find it this time. So this is a new brand that I'm using, but it's lupin bread, and I'm going to use that to make my stuffing for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to make a couple of loaves today and then just put it in the freezer and have it for Thursday. Okay, let me show you what you're going to need to make the lupin bread. Okay, you're going to need some softened butter, 2 eggs, some honey. Now, this is to proof the yeast, so it's negligible. Even though it's a sugar derivative, you won't really get the carbs from it. Some yeast, powdered sweetener, oat fiber. Again, I get this on Amazon also. It's just oat fiber. It's not a flour, it's a fiber. And it helps with the breadiness. Vital wheat gluten, same thing. Makes it bread-like. Yeast, there's our lupin flour. Lupina, that's the brand I'm trying at 16 ounces. So that was about $9, but it's worth it to me to make a loaf of bread because I don't eat it every day and it's yummy. Okay, and all of these, again, you can find on Amazon. In fact, I'll have to get more of this. I use this a lot because it gives you the chew in your bread. The Vital Wheat Gluten does without the carbs. Okay? Okay, so I had our dry ingredients here, which is the Vital Wheat Gluten, these xanthan gum, the lupin flour, and the oat fiber, and the sweetener. And I just added the 1 cup of proofed yeast and water to this with the honey and 2 eggs. I had videoed it and it deleted, so I missed that to upload. So somehow it got deleted, but that's all that's in here is the dried, and then we added the the water with the yeast, and the 2 eggs, and 2 tablespoons of butter. Forgot that too. So then what you're going to do is you're going to mix the crap out of this. You are going to, if you do this by hand, you're going to get really tired because it has to be really, really, really worked to do its thing so that it rises and it's bready. I would even venture to say I'm using the kneading thing with my KitchenAid. A good 7 to 10 minutes. Just knead the crap out of this. Use a hand mixer if you want to. You could throw it in a food processor with a soft blade, not the hard blade, or just use your KitchenAid if you have one and just knead the crap out of it. Okay, so do that 7 to 10 minutes and I'll be back. All right, we're just about there, and I'm going to show you the difference of the texture. I know it was hard to see because my video got cut off, but it was more like a oh, I can't never get this thing off. There we go. It was more like a batter. Now it's a dough. See it? It's awesome. So this, I let it go for about 8.5 minutes in my KitchenAid. Look, nothing's sticking to me. It's just a nice dough. Okay, so this is the way it should look. Okay, so I've got my bread tin. You can use 2 smaller, one 8x8, or 8x8. It's a, what is this? A 8x4? I don't know. A bread loaf pan. And you're going to have your dough, and you're just going to kind of shape it up to your specifications of your pan. Just kind of stretch it a little. Drop it in. Okay, don't work it too much. Okay, and you're going to leave it in this pan in a warm place. I just keep it by the stove for about 1.5 hours. And it's going to proof up, and then you bake it for 15 minutes and it's done. So leave it alone, 1.5 hours, let it rise. Giving you a little update on our bread. Got about another 20 minutes and then I will bake it. This is what it's looking like now that it's been rising for a little bit. It doesn't over rise, it just puffs up a little bit. All right, guys, so I think we're ready to do our bake our lupin bread. It is, isn't that cute towel my daughter bought? It's ready. Look, if you can see, it went above the pan a little bit. I promise I'm not eating McDonald's. My kids brought that home yesterday. So I'm gonna stick the bread in the oven 375 for about 5 to 7 minutes. Then I'm going to cover it with foil so it doesn't get too crisp on the outside to let the inside finish cooking for another 10 minutes, and then it will be completely finished. Okay, so 5 to 7 minutes right now, 375. All right, it's been in for about 6.5 minutes. I'm going to cover it with some foil. Put it back in for another 10, 12 minutes, and it'll be finished, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, the big reveal. We have been in the oven for a total of about 17 to 20 minutes. 7 or so without foil, or without foil. And there is your finished bread. Isn't it great? It's so perfect. And it's, I don't know, see it? It's so awesome. And that's your homemade bread, keto bread. It is 0.7 net carbs per serving. So I'd have to figure out what the serving, I forget what I had. I think I had 8 slices. I was going to say 6. So I'm going to use this, actually. I'm going to make rolls for my bread for Thanksgiving. But this I'm going to use to cut up and make home stuffing. So give it a try. Lupin flour, lupin bread, yummy. And it's crispy and delicious.